Hi everyone, this is Elias from Redline Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2001 Mazda Miata. This is the base model, yeah. So we are going to review this, but there's a little bit something extra. This is my new project car. Yeah, I call it Project Miata, the answer. Because Miata is always the answer. Well, let's get started. First, I want to welcome you if you're new to the channel. Basically what I do here is I review a bunch of cars, new cars, but now we're going to review this. It's a 2001, like I said, Mazda Miata. It is the base model trim, and this is going to be how I treat those other reviews. How do I feel about this 2001 in 2022, which is today. Now, the other thing as well, I'm going to be discussing what some of my plans are for this, but basically I wanted a fun car. I got rid of my Volkswagen Golf and I wanted something, I get to drive some incredible cars and I'm so thankful for that. Some ranging up to 800 horsepower. So I figured, what was one of the most impressionable cars that I've driven? And that was the Mazda Miata. 2021, I believe. It's an ND. I had a blast in that thing. So what's something that I could actually afford and have fun with? The 2001. Now, the market has been insane. The market has been insane, and I picked this up for $6,500. It was originally about $7,500. Yes, I know. It's got 150,000 miles, and it's a base model. It's got the top. Everything looks fairly good. Everything sounds fine. But yeah, what's crazy is now at first I was kind of regretting, geez, did I pay too much? 3-4 years ago, an insane amount of money, yes, for that. But nowadays, believe it or not, I'm seeing this go easily for $8,000, which is nuts. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sell it because I have too much fun in it. But yeah, so we're gonna be building, we're gonna show some how-to, not too in-depth, but for more in-depth stuff, I'll be adding those videos of how I did certain things to it. So yeah, let's get started. But overall, my goal for this is to have a fun weekend car that I can drive around, some back roads, do some, autocrossing, just really a fun car to have, and have fun building it with my kiddo because he loves this thing. Again, we've driven some insane and have been in awesome rides, but he still comes back and loves this. So it's something to be said about this. So let's get started with the front. So with this being the 2001, this is the first year of what's called the NB2. So NA is the first generation with the pop-up headlights. NB is this next model. And NB2 was the facelift, and that's what I have. I have the first year of the facelift. And let me tell you, yeah, it's definitely the better option. I know Facebook groups, you guys are gonna start bashing me, but trust me, it's the better one, simply for the fact of the headlights. The bumper, sure, that's personal preference. It's the NB1 or the 99 and 2000 is a more bulbous kind of like smiley face look to it. This has a little bit more aggression down there, but the headlights is a huge, massive improvement. And because we have the projector style headlights. Now, we have already done a couple of things to the car because I just couldn't hold it. I had all these parts coming in and I didn't have time to actually build this. So to film, the review, but yeah, so we did get a little bit of ahead of ourselves, but we do have the projector style headlights in the front, and I did upgrade them to LED systems, both the low beam and the high beam. I did have LED system in the low beam, but they weren't really lighting up much. The comparison you guys will see is insane. It's really great. So yeah, stay tuned for that review. But yeah, we have the headlights there. We have the silver color. I know silver isn't my really my first choice for a fun little car like this. So don't be surprised if I decide to just wrap it in some crazy color. But yeah, it's nice. Now, it does look like it's got a spray. It looks like it's been resprayed in the moldings. You kind of see a little bit of overspray on there. Honestly, even looking at it from up close, you can barely tell. There's only a couple of spots like here on the bumper that you can tell a little bit. I looked for crash damage, nothing. I couldn't find anything or any signs of crash damage. So, and the Carfax was clean, but you know how that always goes. So the thing with this, again, it looks like it was just a whole respray. The story behind this one was this was supposed to be a track car, so they were about to gut it, but the owner said it was just too nice, so he ended up selling it because he has an automatic already, and you know, he's older, didn't want to have to constantly be going in and out, you know, clutch in and clutch out kind of situation and stop and go traffic. So he decided to sell it. We do have the black badging up here, which is a nice touch. I do like it that it's in black. And down here, again, with this being the MB2, we have a different bumper here. Now, there are some goodies that I have ready for this front end. So I do have a little front spoiler or front lip that I have for it, and then I do have a spoiler coming in. It's being built right now, so it takes some time, so just waiting for those guys to come in. So I'm extremely excited. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 1.8 liter inline 4 cranking out either 155 or 142 or 133 horsepower. Yeah, I'm saying that because I keep looking up different horsepower numbers and I keep getting different horsepower numbers. So I'm not 100% sure what I have as far as, or what it came with factory. Let's just go in the middle with 142. But I have seen from 133, I believe, all the way to 155. So YouTube, help me out. Let me know what the real information is for my horsepower numbers. But we have the 4-cylinder. This is connected to the 5-speed that this has, and then Miata rear-wheel drive. So a couple of things with this. The engine, this one specifically, does have the K&N Typhoon intake. I don't know how effective it is. It does sound nice. That I will say, it does sound nice. It needs a little bit of cleaning, which we'll definitely be doing. Same thing with the engine. Seeing how much we can do. We'll also be most likely changing the valve cover, getting that powder coated or painted something. We'll see what we do with that. Now, with this being the 2001, it is the first year for this guy here. So that's the little guy that will tell you this has VVT or variable valve timing. It's going to give us a little bit more power than the previous gen. Some people say the previous one is better. That's why they used that engine for the Mazda speed to turbocharge. Whatever the case is, this is what I got. Now, is this what I want to have? I don't know. I'm kind of torn what I want to do. I don't know if I want to build this up, turbocharge or supercharge, or just go K-swap. I really don't know what I want to do. So I'm gonna need your help. And your guys' videos on YouTube don't help when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go supercharger, and then suddenly I see a turbocharge video where the turbo just sounds so incredible. So I'm having a little bit of difficulty with that. This doesn't have ABS, so this is a non-ABS car, which I believe typically we have the module here. And the other thing with this is it is a 5-speed, so with it being the base, we don't have the 6-speed option like we do in others. My other confusion was I didn't think a base had a strut bar. So correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I am seeing that this has the strut bar on there. I do have an oil leak. I have an oil leak, which we're gonna track down and see what it is. We'll probably do the works. Radiator is probably gonna come out because it's easy, simple, quick mods that you have to do. I have nice mounts for the radiator as well. So clean this up, dress it up a little bit, maybe add some stuff, exhaust, you know, the fun stuff that you could do with this. I don't I definitely don't want V8 monster under here. I just feel like for what my goal is of just a weekend driver, you know, back road driver, small, you know, the cone racing, that kind of stuff, I think the V8 would just be overkill. It really will. And some light track days, I would say, maybe here and there. But yeah, that's the goal. Just needs to find. So again, really the things that I need with this is the probably some gaskets, because I want to say it's leaking from up here. But yeah, we'll do some small maintenance stuff. Show you guys how to get that done, and hopefully we can give this a couple of more ponies to get it to that 155. Yeah, let me know, guys. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have the 15-inch option, and they are wrapped in the 195/50 Yokohama tire. Now, a couple of things with this. We are on the base model, so we only have the 15. If we had the LS, which is the next trim over, we have the 16-inch wheel option. Now, again, internet, please help educate me on these things, because it's so much fragmented information, especially obviously with the 2001. But yeah, so definitely, if there's anything I mentioned today that needs correction, please comment. I will pin your comment. I will, you know, star it, do all the stuff for it. So please help me out, because I want to learn. I want to learn with you guys. But yeah, we have the 15-inch option. We don't have the sports brakes either. So we do have the standard brakes on this. A couple of things. It's nice and dewy this morning, and let's just say these tires have seen better days. So it did get me a little bit sideways. Thankfully, when in doubt, throttle out, and was able to correct it. But also, you know, hit the brakes a little bit, and this doesn't have the ABS. So I do have to get used to that and be hypersensitive to the pedal and what it's feeding back to me. Has it seen better days? Yes, it has. So we also don't have the sport suspension, which I believe were conies. So again, correct me, guys. But yeah, this is probably all going to change. Suspension, we want to go with coilover systems. The wheels, we want to upgrade. I am thinking about 16/8 is something that I like, you know, I've seen, and I feel like it would fit this car and my style well. And yeah, but we're gonna have fun with this. So we'll definitely clean these guys up, because again, I wanna have content, really. So we'll probably clean these guys up. We'll go ahead and paint them. I don't know if I'm gonna do Plastidip, or I've seen that they have special wheel paints. So we'll definitely look at that. Tires definitely are gonna need to go, which we'll do when we get the upgraded, when we get the larger wheels or the new wheels. The brakes as well. Not sure, a lot of people say all you really need is great tires, which I understand, but yeah, I want to upgrade the brakes. So I'll probably do upgraded brakes, obviously stainless steel lines to give you a better feel to it. But overall, yeah, this is fun. I'm excited to get this fixed, because again, these tires, like I said, have seen better days, and we want to make sure we're driving with a lot of grip. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see total roadster proportions. I love it. I love the way that this looks from the side. We have that long hood, then we have the cockpit area and a shortened rear. It's a recipe for smiles. It really is, for excitement. And a couple of things. So again, we see the 15-inch wheels. Like I said, we can definitely go to the 16 with a bigger and wider setup on there. We don't have any side skirts on this, so we don't have the what they call the small Tupperware or the large Tupperware, which basically they're like essentially stuck on side skirts, and it has like little accents here and there. we don't have that, but I have ordered a set of side skirts for this. It's the like FD style one, so we'll definitely film that and review that. But yeah, I'm excited. Now, key fob time. Yes, not your traditional key fob. We have the standard key and we have a remote on this. Now, with this though, we don't have any fancy, you know, get up close to it and it's gonna open up. So you push the button to unlock and then just open it up. Yeah. Now, right now, my door lock button is acting up with my passenger, so yeah, need to see that. Don't want to have to really dissect this, but I think I'm gonna have to. But we open up and yeah, I mean, I've already undone the hood, the convertible top. So it's literally just 2 latches, push back, and we're gone topless. And even though some people like the sun, I don't mind cloudy days because it's nice and cool. You're not dealing with scorching sun, but definitely we're gonna drive home with the top down. Now, hardtop. We have considered getting a hardtop, but when the market is giving us $2,200 average price, it's a little tough to swallow. Yeah, and those tops are in okay condition. And yeah, it's really going crazy. Tons of scams out there, unfortunately. But the other thing is we can go directly to Mazda, and if they find one, you're looking at $6,000. Someone posted that they purchased a new one, $6,000. It's insane. So yeah, we don't need to pay for this car again for that hardtop. Not yet. So we're definitely gonna hold off on that and see what route we go with. I know some places require it for racing, so yeah, we're gonna have to see what we do. But overall, the side profile is really nice. I love this. Let's go ahead and head to the back and see what we have there. We get to the back and we can see this is nice. I love this rear. It looks very clean, very classic. Very nice. So we get started with the taillights, and with these being the NB2s, they're slightly different than the first part of the NB generation, or the second generation. So these are a little bit different. My goal, use them as much as I can right now. They're not something that I need to really change because they still work, but ultimately I believe it's Carbon Miata does have some really cool looking ones that we'll maybe change them out for those. But yeah, again, we have the silver, we have the black badge on this one, Mazda Miata MX-5 there, and we do have a single exhaust out here, and down here, really nothing else, but there will be soon. So we have some parts for some cool aero down here. I know some of it is partially for looks, but just kind of preparing for the future when we do something maybe to that engine. But yeah, it's gonna liven this up a little bit. Now, the trunk lid is nice. I love that there's just this subtle little kind of flip or spoiler, not even a spoiler, it's just a bend there in the sheetwork. Now, yes, we're gonna go with a wing. We don't know what wing. There's a couple of options that I like, but debating on which route that I go with. I'd like to avoid drilling into the trunk lid, but from the choices we're kind of liking, we may need to resort to that. Now, when we popped the trunk in the ND, we had a little bit of a problem trying to figure out where there was a button. And I remember, if I remember correctly, I believe it was on the right taillight. Thankfully, it's a lot easier in 2001. But yeah, we have it on the remote. We have a keyhole here, and literally I can just push it. Oh, and you have one inside. But you push it, you go ahead and open that up, and it's an okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So I do have my larger book bag for my camera gear, and I could probably fit about 3 of those in here, really nice and tight in here. But oh yeah, and the battery's back here. We are unfortunately having to roll with like a battery jump start thing because I don't trust the battery 100%, especially, you know, the car doesn't move as much, but we do have it hooked up. So we may look into getting that battery replaced. It has left me stranded, and that was because there were some frays in the battery cable and they were by themselves and heating up the positive, and that's when it just drained that completely. Yeah, and I hate battery. I hate electrical stuff. It scares the crap out of me. But we're gonna brave one out and probably switch that out soon. But yeah, that's what we have here, and that will actually do it. So let's go ahead and jump in, because we have no remote start. Even if we did, it's manual, so you don't want that. But yeah, let's go ahead and go for a ride. We get inside of the Miata, and yeah, it's 2001. It really is, but it's still great. It still looks good. There's a couple of things. The obvious one is the noise. It is a little bit on the louder side. The ND, if we were to compare it to that, still had some noise to it as well. But yeah, this is a little bit more bare bones to it. But let's get started on the inside. So on the left hand side, we have so this is the one, because this is the base model, we don't have the tan colored interior, so we do have the black interior. Honestly, I'm kind of glad. The tan interior is great with certain colors. British Racing Green, yes, it is a must with that color. And then I want to say that's pretty much it. But yeah, thankfully we have the black interior though. So we have the doors, and the doors, some of the biggest complaints people have is that they hit their legs on it. For me, it's not that bad, but I really can't put my arm down to rest. So I do have to put it on top, which is fine, perfectly fine. I'm actually super comfortable having it up here. So I don't mind that it is, you know, this. So with my specific car, I am having a little bit of a problem with the little, with the lock switch there. So I gotta figure out how, if it's the switch or if it's the doors themselves. I have to take it apart. This one does have a bad door card, so it is on the outside. It's kind of broken, but I do have a replacement. I have to make sure that that one is in better condition before I swap it out. We don't have the Bose system in this, so we do have just the base model speakers, which they may get changed. We'll talk about our head unit soon. But overall, yeah, this is not bad. I feel super comfortable with having my arm up here. Then we get over to the seats, and the seats are nice. I like them. They are the NB2, so the facelift, which 2001 is the first year. So the new seats are a lot more comfortable, a lot more bolstered here. And they're still big boy friendly, so so I still fit in them, and they still hug me really, really nice. And yeah, like I said, I prefer the black. I don't know if I'm gonna go seat covers. I don't know if I'm gonna do racing seat or sporty seat. I don't know, but for now, they're nice. I do love the way that they look, and yeah, they handle really well. No heated or cooled option. So yeah, we're back in 2001. But it is a nice, comfortable seat. The positioning is not bad either. Then we get to the wheel, and the wheel is nice. We do have the leather wrapped Nardi Torino wheel, and this thing feels incredible. I don't know if I want to replace this, but what I did do is I did buy a steering wheel cover with carbon fiber, nice leather, perforated leather, my little racing line, I guess, so to speak. So it is going to be upgraded. It's going to be better, but it's not bad. I really like, for the fact that it's from 2001, it's held up a good amount. I want to say this is the factory one, but again, the history on this car is a little, yeah. But the only thing I do have to change is the horn. Yeah, I have the clock spring, the horn isn't working, but again, the shape looks great and everything. The one thing I do not like is we don't have adjustments, so we can't make this kind of go away from us, closer to us, up, down, no adjustments. So it is what it is. It does sit a little bit low, and I'm a short guy. It does sit a little bit low. Some people complain about hitting their knees on it or when they're turning. I guess so. And they sell like a spacer to bring it out. I was thinking about it, but honestly, it would be a little too close to me. So I don't think I'm gonna get that myself. Because again, I'm a little bit shorter, so I am needing to kind of be a little bit closer to the wheel itself so I can reach the pedals. Then we get to the gauge cluster and we have some analog gauges. Because this is the NB2, meaning facelift 2001 and after for this, we do have the white gauges. So we went from the black gauges to the white gauges, a really quick way of, helping discern if is this an MB1, MB2. If someone has for sale post, then you get those special ones where it's like, hey, look, this is the car. But yeah, so we have the NB2 white gauges. I like them. They do need better lighting though, so we may look at replacing the light bulbs. We may change the gauges, but the gauges that I saw, you are needing to kind of get rid of some other things, which I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. If it comes down to it, sure. But yeah, we have the gauges really nice laid out. I like the white. That is the big thing. I like the white. It's able to really, real big contrast with all this black. I'm able to see what my speed is. I'm able to see where my red line is. So I am liking this layout. Then we come over to the center console, and the AC vents are going to look a little bit different than what you guys have or factory ones. I have already, like I mentioned, gone ahead and modified some things because I just couldn't help it. I wanted to start messing with it before I did the review. But we went ahead and replaced the eyeballs or eyelet AC vents for the Jeep Compass, I want to say. I forget which Jeep, but Jeep makes some that you can go ahead and literally just pop in. I love them. My favorite thing is, again, the flexibility of positioning, and when you close them, they look nice. And you kind of have a little Johnny 5 thing kind of going on there. So I do love the way that this looks. It's just such a small, quick improvement. And don't worry, I filmed how to replace it, so we'll go ahead and have a video to show you guys how to do that. Then we come a little bit lower and we have the infotainment system. Yes, we don't have a radio because that has been replaced. So when I did buy it, it came with a Pioneer CD player, single DIN. It was messed up. It wasn't playing, it did have USB for Apple iPod function. My phone would constantly disconnect. It was just a pain. So I took that out. I replaced it with this Pioneer system. It is wireless Bluetooth. It is wireless Apple CarPlay, which you guys know how much I love that from all my car reviews. So yes, it has that. It has functions for backup camera. It has a bunch of things there, which honestly, like I said, this was a huge improvement over the previous radio, and even definitely over factory. Bringing the interior to 2022, so it is a nice improvement, or just a better feel to the car and better drivability, I would say. And we are gonna, again, we have a video of the install of that. We do have some other things we're gonna do. The backup camera, we're gonna look into, same thing with wireless charging options as well. We come down here and we have the AC controls. Very simple, straight to the point. No real big like whoa things about it. Again, it's just very basic, straight to the point. We come a little bit lower, we have the passenger airbag. We can turn this off in this model. Some people change that for like a little cubby. Right now which would be cool to have, just additional storage. But right now we're gonna keep that because sometimes I like to have the kiddo with me, and obviously we want to turn that off. And then we get to the shifter, and the shifter's nice. I don't know if this is factory. It looks factory, but it's nice. It feels great. The shape to it is really good, but we bought an upgrade. So we'll definitely be installing that and showing you guys how to do so. We come a little bit back and we have the window controls. Very simple, very straight to the point. I keep constantly forgetting they're in the center console and keep going towards the door itself, looking for how to change it there or how to bring up the window and down the window. So yeah, it's in the middle. They do have different switches for this. I'll think about it if I want to switch it out. But yeah, we have that. We have a handbrake. Yes, we have a manual handbrake, no electronic parking brake. So yeah, the handle, we may change it, not sure. I do have to adjust it. So we'll take a look at some YouTube videos on how to do it, and then we'll film our own. Because yeah, this one kind of scared me when I was in the driveway. I put the handbrake up, and then the car started slowly rolling. So we do have to do a little bit of an adjustment there. So definitely gonna be another video. We come back to the cup holders, and they are useless. To think that these are the better ones, because NB1s have, yeah, it's a different center console, basically meaning 99 and 2000 Miatas. So it is a little, yeah. So the big thing is the little door is what is annoying. So the front one isn't bad because it still has a spring loaded, but the back one where my body pack is, that one is super annoying because it just flaps. It flaps, and when you rest your hand, so to the point where I can see the previous owner put a little Velcro circle there. So we may have to, you know, fix that and do it ourselves. Then we get to a little bit further back, and we have the area where I guess you would store more things, or better, yeah, your center console storage, but it's very small. That is where we're gonna go ahead and adapt a wireless charger. We need to see if we can 3D print something, so that should be a nice thing to do for the you know, for the wireless charging function. Then back here, we have a good storage. Yeah, you can put maybe like a book bag, a small bag there, a laptop bag, something there to give you that additional storage. Then we get to the trunk area, and the trunk area is small. I mean, what do you expect? It's a Roadster. You're not gonna have, you know, family luggage back there, but it's not bad. It fit my camera gear, and I still have a little bit more for maybe like another bag or bag and a half. Now, let's talk performance. We're dealing with the 1.8 liter inline 4, cranking out either 155 or 138 or 144. All of those is what I've seen from different reports. So I'm very confused about how much horsepower it is outputting. Apparently, Mazda overquoted and then had to correct their quote of the power. That's something that I read. I'm not sure how truthful that is, but that's the power range I've gotten. 138 to 155, so I guess I'll settle with 143, and I'm fine. Because this car is not about really sheer power, but maybe it will be. But that is then connected to the 5-speed in this one, and then obviously this being a Miata, so it is rear-wheel drive. 0 to 60 was about 8.1, and when you had the 6-speed, it dropped it down to 7.9. So yeah, the 6 gears, even though you have more, they are shorter to get you kind of going. I don't mind the 5-speed. It's a pretty good, you know, kind of keep you in the revs, have you enjoy the higher revs with this. Now, because this is the 2001, this is when we started having the variable valve timing, or the VVT, to give it a little bit more power. Think of it like Honda's VTEC. It's essentially similar to that delivery of power. But this also came with that K&N filter, or that intake as well, and it's nice. I've heard how it sounds without it and then with, and let's just say I'm glad I have it. To get the sheer speed of this, I'll go ahead and it's fun. It sounds great. It's a blast. This thing is so much fun. Now, I do have an open differential, so I don't have the limited slip. There's like 5 different options available. You know, first there's aftermarket, tons of options, but then you have the Torsen 2 that fits in this. Then you have the Fuji, I think it's called something like that, from the special edition one that they made. So there's a ton of available limited slip differentials. Honestly, I don't know if I would get one right now because I don't have the power, first of all, to really need it. And I would say, hey, let's get some power, and then we'll talk about having that fun with the limited slip. But this thing is a blast. The best thing about this is I'll drive 800 horsepower cars to review, and then I hop in this, and this feels so much more fun. There's something about this. I don't know if it's just the fact that you're in a tiny car and it sounds like you're going fast, but it's just a great, fun little thing to have. It has been a blast to drive around. Everyone that sees it loves it. Everyone wants to take a look at it, wants to approach you. Everyone gives you the looks. It's just a Miata. It really is. It's so much fun. And with this being the base, we don't have any fancy suspension or anything like that. We are just running the base, standard suspension. But that's gonna change. We're gonna go with coilovers. Hopefully, we wanna upgrade the brakes. So this one doesn't have ABS, so possibly upgrading the brakes. The pedal feel is not bad. I do have to wear better shoes when I want to feel the pedal because it's a little bit on the softer side. Again, all of these like stainless steel lines, all that little stuff will definitely help it get better. It really will. Well, everyone, there you have it. My review of my 2001 Mazda Miata, plus my project announcement of some of the things I want to do with this project series, Project Miata, the answer. So we'll go ahead, please make sure, subscribe, share, do all the things, because obviously the bigger the channel, the easier it is for me to grow and be able to fund some of this stuff to help you guys out with some little how-tos, some tips and tricks, things like that. Especially my favorite thing is putting all those tools that I'm gonna be using in the description, so that you guys don't have to go guess and all that stuff. It takes time. So please, the easiest thing you guys can do is share it, like it, subscribe. Would love to hear your guys' feedback. Comment in the comment section. What should I do? What am I doing wrong? What information did I get wrong? I want to learn, and I need your guys' help. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, and remember, find the right gear. See ya.